it's Dino at DigitSpin Crypto, and it's Friday. So now I gotta tell you a little story. We're a few minutes late today, and down here in the southeast, the thunderstorms and lightning are severe. And, you know, I wasn't even sure I was gonna have power, never mind be online. But with all of the lightning strikes and the building shaking and all that good stuff, it's pretty intense down here. But the good news is I didn't lose power. We just got delayed about 9 minutes. So glad to see everybody here, and hopefully we'll have a great show. Now we're going to try to keep the shows under an hour. I'm trying to see if I can shoot for 45 minutes. Sometimes questions add to it, but that's kind of the goal that we're going to be looking for as we go forward. So the first thing I wanted to say was, obviously this is not financial advice. It's just the ramblings of some common pedestrian on YouTube. That's me. Alright, so keep that in the back of your head as we go along. Now the first thing I'd like to also say is congratulations to Music Lover. Yesterday he won 50 Electroneum from the experimental ASIC that I keep locked up in my office. We keep that thing running and making a few coins every day, and we kind of want to share in that experience and give them out. So each and every day you have a chance to win Electroneum or Webdollars, your choice. All you have to do is put your address, your public address, in the comments below after this show goes into archive mode. Make sure you put it in the comments, not in the chat. Additionally, if you're smart enough to hit yesterday's video, you'll be able to stick it in there, and when I do the draw today, I do it on yesterday's video. You'll be able to, and make sure you put it on the live show, because sometimes we have other shows in between. So yesterday's live show, and then you can be included in today's draw. Put your Webdollar address or your Electroneum address for whatever that you would want to win. We're gonna do our random picker again today. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that, and I want to experience that again. So let's take a quick look at that. We'll bring that up real quick. And random picker. Alright, let's get my fat head out of the way. Okay, so what I do is I go right on to Google. I typed in random number generator, and it gives me this little handy dandy tool. We're going to pick a number between 1 and 100. Any number below 50 is 50. So the minimum that you can win is 50 Electroneum or Webdollars. The maximum we're going to change to 100. So it'll randomly pick a number, hopefully over 50, so you can win more than just 50 for today. So we're going to give that a shot, and let's find out what today's giveaway is going to be. Drum roll, please. 98! Wow! Yeah! Those big numbers. 98! That's, yeah, I mean, you can't get much closer than that, right? Yeah! Alright, big win for whoever wins today. Today, I'm going to jot that down with my handy dandy trusty red pen. 98 ETN or Webdollars are going to be given away today at the end of the show. So stick around, you'll find out who it is, and we'll go forward from there. Now, keep in mind, we put in our comments a link to our ultra private DigitSpin Crypto Telegram channel. So you can click on that link, it'll take you to Telegram. You can join the DigitSpin Crypto Telegram channel. We communicate in there. You'll get information that's hot. Anything that comes out, I kind of toss it in there, let you know little inside scoops. You get the tidbits before it actually gets to the show, and sometimes some of the stuff doesn't even make it to the show. Only the folks there do. Now, of course, we also talk about all sorts of coins, and we are also lucky enough to have George Alexandru, who's on the marketing team for Webdollar, who shows up and answers questions and helps out with anything that you may have regarding Webdollar. So that's a big bonus, and it's appreciated, and we'd like to thank George for that. being included in that. And we did make him an administrator also, so he can do all sorts of fancy stuff. So this is good. All right, so what we're going to talk about today, obviously Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the ETF rejection that happened. Let's take a look at I think I got all these great papers here, my cliff notes. We're also going to talk about Loki and a hard fork that's coming up. We're going to do a YouTuber to watch segment, and we're going to do. We're going to take a look at Electroneum. Gave away a spot prize today. How much and who got it? You're going to find out here. We're going to talk about 2 exchanges for Electroneum, which is pretty good. We're going to talk about NanoPool and what they're doing to help the ASIC miners. We're also going to then do a couple of minor things for Webdollar. Again, we'll talk about the airdrop, transaction fees for Webdollar, and also if you don't want to mine in a browser, how else can I mine Webdollars? So we're going to give you that little stuff. Then at the end, we'll close up the show. We'll give away 98 Electroneum Webdollars today, because that was the big pick today, and we'll go forward from there. Well, it looks like I hit the button again, so let's see how that turns out. All right, let's take a quick look at the chat. We got Rick Vipermoto out there today. I see we got 6 other folks out there watching, and that's awesome. Feel free to put any comments, questions that you have. You know, don't be a shadow, don't be afraid. Put those comments in. Let us know, you know, that you're part of the program, and makes us feel that much better knowing that we have some interaction with you. Okay. Hey. So Rick's pretty excited. He was actually the first one here today, so he was real excited that he got here on time, because he usually shows up about halfway. So big handshake to you there, Rick. I'm glad you made it, and you're appreciated. Okay. So Rick, yeah. So you're in North Florida, Rick. So I would imagine probably earlier today you also had some thunderstorms today. It was a feeder band that came in from the north. What happened? It stays hot and humid, and the cold air comes down, and as it hits this humid air, it creates an amazing line of thunderstorms as it pushes down Florida, and it could be pretty eventful. You get straight line winds, you'll get tornado touchdowns, you can get you know, just horrendous rain and downpours, flood type of thing, and it happens all within an hour and a half every day. so it's all big stuff. All right, we got Michael out there. How you doing, Michael? It's good to see you. And Mike wants to know if there's any news on the exchange today, on next exchange today. And yes, we will get to that when we get to the Electroneum segment. So first up, let's take a quick look. We'll do our quick snapshot of Bitcoin. Let's do a refresh, 8186. So you know, yesterday they rejected that Winklevoss ETF. And it wasn't the fact that it was rejected, it was the fact that they called Bitcoin an unstable environment, basically, to allow people to invest into, which basically categorized the entire crypto space. And that was where there was an issue, because if you're going to do that to one ETF, it's going to be the same for all of them, because the environment is not going to change by mid-September or even the end of the year. So it put an immediate squash on things, and that came out yesterday or late last night, and was definitely an issue. And if we take a look, let's see if we can get our chart up here. So if you take a look here, you can see that news came out. Everybody was all happy, buying Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin. The ETF came out of rejection. And the reason why it was more important than the actual rejection of the ETF, it dropped down and it continued to fall. Don't know what the news was that caused this to go back up. What time was this at? This here brought it in around about noontime today. So all I can tell you was that obviously there was some event that brought it back up, and it seems to be going upwards again. I thought for sure we would be drowning today in Bitcoin, so it's good to see it up a little bit, and that this drop didn't really take us out and start bringing the whole market down under again, because we all know it's all built on speculation right now and hype, because there's nothing that's actually changed regarding Bitcoin. But that's kind of the good news, and chances are, this may have had something to do with it. Definitely visit Cointelegraph. Put that on your list of sites to visit and to see, because Cointelegraph brings out some pretty good news, and it's important that you understand all of cryptocurrency, not just one coin or your favorite coin. So basically, the U.S. SEC commissioner was quick to bounce and put out a dissent in regards to what they did with the ETF, and this is important. And some of her points that she came up with are valid, and basically saying that we shouldn't be the gatekeepers of technology. And saying what's good and not good. Yeah, we got to protect the consumers and everything, but to be able to ban crypto as a whole as an improper area to invest funds in is an issue, because there are a lot of other commodities that are clearly manipulated. Okay, and so if you're going to put that as the ruling on Bitcoin, you better start looking at some of these other commodities that are absolutely manipulated, and then are you going to take them out of the picture? So she really came down on it, saying this is just an unacceptable ruling. But hopefully the appeal will work out for these guys, and we can get this rocking and rolling again. So that's an important part. All right, page one. Let's do that. Okay, SEC commissioner. We did all that good stuff. Now, there was a Twitter that came out from Bitcoin also, and they were showing some of the most influential people out there, and they're all coming up with some pretty high predictions for Bitcoin. Most of them all in this 2008 range. Some folks are having it to 2020. Jim Draper, Brian Kelly is out to 2022, but I mean they're calling for $250,000 Bitcoin. The Pantera Capital Fund Group, they're thinking absolutely 20,000 by the end of this year, 25,000. Anthony Pompeo, 50,000. So these are all big names, people that kind of are in the space, and they're all pretty bullish. You can take a look at this and go to Bitcoin.com and take a look at some of their news and articles. Obviously, this is on the Bitcoin Twitter, which is completely different than Bitcoin.com. All right. So let's take a look. Next thing I wanted to bring up was Loki. Now, Loki is one of my other favorite coins to mine. It's another code fork from Monero, so it uses the Monero code base. And just a quick run over. It's a similar protective and privacy type of coin. They're setting up service nodes and be able to run applications along these service nodes. One of the first applications they're going to run is a messenger. But the moral of the story is they're going to change their emission curve. What that means is that the output of coins that are earned as a let's try take two. The output of a reward that happens when you mine the coin. So they're going to offering these service nodes, and they will, have that master node type of feel. But they're going to earn some of the coins by staking a certain amount of Loki, and then you'll be qualified to run a service node, or you can just outright mine. So they got to split this up, and they've got to change the algorithm of how the reward is split up and executed. Moral of the story is it's going to happen probably somewhere on the 31st. They're expecting it on the 31st. So you want to update if you have Loki and you're saving it to your Loki wallet. You got to update your Loki wallet and the daemon, and you can do that by going to GitHub and downloading the newest version and executing that. That'll upgrade you so that you'll be ready to fly on the 31st when things go forward. Now, you won't lose your coins if they're out there, but if you try to run the old wallet, you may not be able to see everything that goes on past that point. So get that changed up. Obviously, if you're mining, there's a different miner that you'll need also to execute on that. There should be an update for that also. Okay. Let's take a look at what other good stuff we got. Alright, so let's go to YouTubers to watch. And what we're going to take a look at is... What I want to do here is introduce you to Elio Trades. Now, Elio Trades runs a channel called FUD TV. And this is a pretty sharp YouTube page. This guy does a professional broadcast with some humor involved. He edits it all together, so it looks like it came right off of a major network. But the fact of the matter is that Elio at FUD TV, he gets you all of the news snippets for the day in a way that's pleasing to the ear, much more than my voice. He's a little bit younger, so he talks a lot faster and gets you out what you need to know. A brief summary of what's happening on a daily basis. His show, I believe, in my personal opinion, is a show you shouldn't miss. And these are the types of things that I watch to get my information. So if you want to get the scoop on me, watch Elio Trades, take a look at FUD TV, see if it's worth your time and energy to subscribe and view his shows. So that's my YouTubers to watch suggestion for today. Alright, let's get on to Electroneum. That's our next segment. We're going to bring up all the good stuff. So, regarding Electroneum, they announced today, I believe it is, sometime this afternoon, they have their first winner. And the first winner that they're giving out is a Spot Award. That's in the second category, third category. First category is the most views, interactions. Second category is going to be a random pick. That's going to be done probably through computer algorithm of some type. And the third one is an Electroneum team pick of one that they really like and enjoy. Right, Mr. Bean? Right. So, they take a look at these, these British guys, they have that dry sense of humor. So, but I'm sure they're going to find something that's pretty awesome. But today they did announce winner number one of the Spot Award, and that went out to Gold Rush. He has it as XXI. I would assume that's 21, Gold Rush 21 Bitcoin. So, it looked like a pretty nice video here. Let's take a quick look. So he put himself together a pretty nice video. You know, some pleasant music and a lot of details. Obviously, you're going to want to watch it up close. Take a look for Gold Rush's video and see what that's all about. It's kind of cool, and you'll get the flavor of what's going on in the video and all the details, the information that he brought forward in this video explaining about Electroneum and its functionality. So congratulations, Gold Rush, big win, and great to see somebody starting to definitely hit some of these spot awards. We're excited for everybody. Make sure you put in, you still have some time, put in something, do a tweet. You know, if you have have the creativity in you, make a cool video like this, put it out there. You never know. There's matter of fact, in the last few days, with the extension of time, I've seen numerous new videos come out. All of them really exciting, really fun. There was a Star Trek one out there, and there was a park type of thing with an Electroneum pond in the middle, and I mean, there was some great stuff. So make sure you do a search on ETN 242. Take a look at some of these videos. See if you can pick out which one you think is going to win the next spot award, because they'll probably do one over the next few days. Maybe over the weekend they might announce another, or maybe Monday. So we'll see how that turns out. All right. So let's get to some of these exchanges. This here was the announcement for the ETN. You can go to Electroneum, the Twitter on Electroneum. You'll get the link to the video if you don't, or you're not able to find it on YouTube. Okay, so exchanges. We're going to talk about two exchanges. First one I want to talk about is Oodle. Now, Oodle, you know, smaller exchange and all, but here's the thing. You know, they kind of wanted Electroneum available on their exchange, and here's the good thing. Everybody here can do it. All you have to do is sign up for Oodle. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to buy any tokens. There's nothing out of your pocket except your time to log in and create an account. Once you have an account, you can actually go place a vote. And as you see, we're kind of neck and neck with EOS Stack. Waves is way behind us, so I'm not worried about that. But Electroneum, you know, we could blow this out of the water and easily snag a position on Oodle. Every one of these exchanges add up, making it available to somebody somewhere. Okay, so take a look, connect up to Oodle, OODLEBIT.com, and get yourself signed up and click the vote button. Real simple, real easy, and we can put another skirmish in our back pocket as a win. And every little one of these wins adds up, brings value to Electroneum, allows it to perform its function and where it needs to go in the future. So you know, let's win this one. When we're only like 300 votes off. See if you can snag it for me. All right, pass it around, tell your friends, tell anybody you know, just to log on and vote. Simple. All right, so next time we wanted to talk about was Next Exchange. Michael was asking about that. I have it up on the board over here. Any news on the Next Exchange today? So yeah, let me tell you about what's going on with Next Exchange. And there's a couple of things I wanted to bring up regarding that. Let's take a look here. We got probably this one. No, that's not it. Probably this one. Okay. So Next Exchange did release some information. Basically, they're in a limited. I mean, obviously they're rolling out the Next Exchange. It's a new, decentralized, and they have limited access to it and limited coins that are on it at the moment because they're testing them as they're rolling them out, getting it working. All right. So several of the markets, the Korea Sense XCPS, those are available to the public. You can start trading with them. All right. You can register an account and logs you in. You go to the next dot exchange, HTTPS next dot exchange. You'll be able to log in, and you'll see the exchange button. All right. Now, there is going to be some caveats when you go to use Next Exchange, and especially once they get the Electroneum activated on it. You will need 100 Next tokens in your purse there, in your wallet, to be able to make some of these transfers and trades. So you'll have to have a minimum amount of coins to be able to start doing trades. From what I understand, I think they were like 40 cents a piece, so you're looking at what, $40 you got to hold on to, well, 4 cents. I think it was like $40 worth of Next tokens. All right, and they're starting to do fiat transfers after you get your KYC. So there's a couple of things here I want to mention. I happen to know for a fact that Electroneum was interacting. Yeah, you could see I went to the Next Exchange. I saw Chris Gorman interacting with the folks at Next. Clearly, there's some code that's happening at the Electroneum side and some code that's happening at the Next side, and they're doing some testing with that. I expect, since again this is the first, looks like to be the first Monero coin, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more complicated than some of these other basic coins because of the privacy features. Now remember, the privacy features add additional coding requirements, things that you have to kind of maintain and take care of to get it to interact correctly. But the good news is that I saw them testing, I saw them purchasing, I saw them trying to interact with the environment. So the process is happening. If we're lucky, I would tend to think we would probably see something by the end of next week. That's my personal guess. Nobody said that. Next didn't say that, nor did Electroneum. But that's my personal guess based on what I saw going on the Telegram channel. And it looks like they have most of this stuff worked out. There's definitely some issues that they have to clean up. But you know, I'm hoping to see this by the end of next week. It could be earlier than that, could be later than that. Don't sweat it. Definitely keep an eye on it. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there that'll probably beat me to the punch and tell you when that it's ready to go. Now, I do want to tell you a new good site that's out there. Okay, I can let the cat out of the bag on one thing for you. I'll give you a little tidbit here. Let's see what we got. We want to bring, let's bring this back up here. I'm going to show you this website here. This is a gentleman called Northeast Texas Technologies. You probably know about him, and if you don't, you want to know about him. He's another great Electroneum YouTuber. He's a guy that does some mining. He obviously plays around with some Monero-based coins like myself. You know, and he kind of focuses on that. What I can tell you is these guys, they know their stuff, and they are going to do a video on walking you through step by step, okay, on the Next Exchange, how to buy it, how to interact with it. I saw them putting together videos today that are going to really educate you, amaze and thrill you all the way through. So giving you a little tip up front, look for these guys, get yourself subscribed on his channel, you know, put on the notification bell so when he does release that video, you'll get notified, and you'll get that great information as everything comes out. So definitely worth your time and effort. Take a look, add him to your subscription. Obviously, he's a smaller channel like myself. We're trying to produce content that's valuable to the Electroneum community and other coins, and you know, all the love you can give them is appreciated, just like it is here. Okay, So I hope that I answered your question, Michael. I know it's been up there for a while. So Jacob, let's take a look. People don't need to understand the science of electricity to use it. People won't need the science, need to understand the science of electronium to use it. So I got Einstein over here, Jacobs, Nietzsche putting out some amazing quotes, and he's right. And this follows back to, remember when I was telling you when things are working and you have some velocity of electronium, you're using a program or a web interaction on your phone, and you have no idea that the blockchain is even behind it. That's how you know everything is working and going on. It's just like Jacob's saying here. It's like a car. I get in my car, turn on the key, I drive from A to B. Not everybody, and I can also open up the hood and I can rebuild the engine. I used to do that when I was younger. All right, but not everybody needs to know that. They could care less. They don't even know where to put the oil in the thing. All they know is they want to put the key in, turn it on, and go. Same with the Jacob here. They want to flip the switch, the light bulb turns on. They could care less what connects it or what's in between. And that's when we know cryptocurrency is here to stay, is when it's so transparent and natural that it becomes part of the daily life, whether or not they even know they're using it. So it's a good point. Definitely right, Mr. Bean. Brilliant. Yes, see, Mr. Bean. He thinks you're brilliant, Jacob. So I'm going to stick with you down there. Good question. All right. So we got Jonathan Whiskey. He's out there. He's watching, giving me a smiley face. It's good to see you, Jonathan. Glad you could join the show. And our favorite H-bomb. Now, keep in mind, if you get your video in before the end of the show, whether you want web dollars or Electroneum, put your address in, and you too can possibly win. But you got to get it in yesterday's show to be able to win for today. And today, in case any of you missed it, we did a random number picker. Today came out to 98 Electroneum or web dollars that you can win today. 98. So it's almost double what you would normally win on a regular day. So we'll look forward to that. Okay. Let's get rid of that page. That's all good. We're going to take a look at a couple of quick things. First one here. Let's take a look at Crypt Unit. Now remember, if you have any questions, put them on the chat. You get your one chance to ask those questions, to see what's going on. There's 13 of you guys out there. So feel free to comment on the chat if you have a question as I go along through the information. Okay. Electroneum. See, we're down to 741. Now I use 220 kilohash as a benchmark, whether or not you're running an ASIC against that exact daily hash or that hash rate. This way we have a benchmark each day when we take a look at this that's equal and going along. So we're starting to see a little bit less Electroneum being produced today and then over the last few days. But we're still close to that $10 range. It's, one of the lower amounts. I think I've seen it go as low as $7 or $8, but $9 is pretty good for the day. As they start to roll out these other ASICs, people throw them on there. You got to spread those coins out amongst more people, and therefore you're going to win less as you go along. But this is where we get the coins to give away for our daily contest. Right on our ASIC miner. Okay, so we did our Crypt Unit. We're good there. Now, what I do want to bring up, since we're talking about ASICs, is let's go back to our show. We're going to slide down here. Now, I did get in touch. If you're running an ASIC, you know that right now, you don't have too many choices of where to go with it. You can go to Fair Hash. You can take it out to Space Pools. I'm running against Space Pools at the moment, and I wanted to use NanoPool. I used to use NanoPool with the GPUs, and NanoPool was very supportive of Electroneum during their time of need, and was really the only one that was going out of the way to interact and assist with them. I was really happy with NanoPool, and I recommended them highly. The problem is if you try to throw your ASIC on there at the port that it used to connect to, which was set up for GPUs, the difficulty was not high enough, and therefore about 70% of the hash rate of the ASIC was too fast and would get thrown in the garbage. So you would only see about a 30% of the hash rate. So out of 220, it might show 60 kilohash instead of 220 kilohash. And obviously, you're not going to run the machine just to get a third of what its capabilities are. So there was no way to actually run on NanoPool. Just couldn't do it. Now, space pools and Fairhash, they gave you the ability when you sign in that you could lift the difficulty manually by putting it in your string, your account string. So you could say, I want it set to 2.1 million on the difficulty, and boom, it would come right up, and you would be able to acquire your full hash power against the network. So you were forced to use those sites. So I got in touch with the NanoPool, and as you see here, it took them a bit of time. They had to understand what the issue was, and they created a new port. The new port number is 13355, and that's the magic number, because unfortunately NanoPool does not allow you to do a manual override on the hash power. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a problem. But they have a static amount, and they open a new port, and they set the difficulty levels for each of those ports accordingly. So I let them know about the problem. They got back in touch with me and reconfigured and set up a new port, set it for the higher. So we're going to give this a try, see how it turns out on NanoPool, make sure that we have access to it and that it's performing as such. I just wanted to share this with you, that I got this late last night as a response from them to the problem that they had. So pretty excited. I'll be able to jump back onto NanoPool at some point, and I'll let you know how this turns out. But magic number is 13355 on the port if you're running an ASIC and you want to use NanoPool. Okay, let's close this up. We got H-Bomb out there. Hey Dino, how's it going? All right. And that's kind of cool. I got those little graphics to show up there. I like when that transfers over, the little clap and the smiley face. Okay. So, get rid of this. Throw that out to the side. What we're going to do is we're going to take just a few quick minutes on Webdollar, and then we're going to take it right to the contest win, and we'll close it up for today. I'll check the comments, so if you have any last comments, put them in there. But let's take a quick look at Webdollar and what we got going on there. Bring that up. Now, the response on Webdollar has just been pretty amazing the last few days, and some of the things that I wanted to tell you. Obviously, the airdrop is still going on with Webdollar, and I think out of the 10,000 winners that are possible winners for the airdrop, 3,000 of them are gone already. So if you were planning to get that $100 airdrop for Webdollar, please do that. I know on the DigitSpin Telegram channel, we've had a lot of interaction with George from Webdollar. A lot of people asking questions. I'm still trying to spruce it up. Obviously, it's new. We got Marie, a little Telegram robot to try to help out and keep things running. But definitely take a look, see if that's something that you want to do with the airdrop. That is at the airdropking.io, and you'll see that there's a couple of minor things that you have to do. We talked about that yesterday. It's pretty simple. Go get yourself 100 free Webdollars. All right. Now, currently or should I say last week, the Webdollar transaction fees were 10 web dollars. They were getting, basically what was happening is they were getting transaction flooding during their testing. People were trying to shut them down because of the coolness of the project. They didn't want it to come out, and they did all sorts of stuff to try to keep the project from coming out. Webdollar beat them back, and one of the things that, and the same thing with Electroneum, had to do the same thing. You know, the cost of sending some Electroneum had to go up to keep flooding happening of transactions. So it's a common military attack against the coin that people use to try to stifle it and to try to shut it down. Needless to say, they're working on the code, making modifications. Right now it's down to 8 web dollars, and they're working on modifying it to sort of like the Bitcoin methodology, where it'll be a number based on the how many bytes the transaction uses, based on the inputs and outputs of the transaction. So they're expecting within the next 4 or 5 weeks that it'll be back down to 0.1 of a web dollar, 1/10 of a web dollar for the transaction fees. Now, I've also noticed there's a lot of folks that were asking, hey, can you mine web dollar, not just with the browser? How else can I mine it? And so the answer is that on the GitHub there is a CLI, command line interface, that you can install on your PC. You know, bring up your command line window, and you can literally type in whatever commands you want. They modified it, and just, you know, I think it was last week, actually released a multi-threaded version. Originally, a lot of people didn't use it because it would only support one thread of your processor. So if I had, you know, a Ryzen 7, it didn't perform any better than a Celeron, basically. So with the new CLI version, it's available. It runs multi-threaded, and it's actually a little bit faster than the browser version. So if you're real serious about Webdollar, you can take a look into the CLI version. Load that up and give that a whirl. It's a little bit more complicated. You have to kind of know what you're doing technically when you start working with CLI. It's not as simple as just opening a browser. That's why most people just use the browser. So, all right, let's take a quick look here, see what we got going on. We got Rotessima is that there. Now, I have no idea if I say that right. Let's take a look. So it's probably, what is that? Retsamasa? What do I know? I'm not that smart. Just switched pooling from Space Pools 2 days ago. So, yeah, I don't know if you switched out or you switched into it. Let's see. Oh, Poolin. Okay, so you went to the Poolin network instead of Space Pools. Yeah, I saw Poolin. I'll probably take a look at it. You know, I don't have that. Problem is, you know, between my job and everything that goes on here, and trying to get all my facts and the goodies for the show so I can squeeze them out onto the video, you know, I don't get a chance to tinker as much as I thought I could. And there's always emergencies going on. So if I ever get a chance, I'll take a look at Poolin. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, that it's available and that you've been doing pretty good. Rotissima saying the pool with the most hash power typically gives the highest rewards. Yeah, now Poolin is, if I'm not mistaken, is the official pool for Bitmain. So it's probably out in China, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's Bitmain's official pool, and it has approximately 41% of all of the Electroneum. Last I checked of it, it could be plus or minus, but it's pretty significant amount of hashing power for the Electroneum blockchain. It's a big chunk. I know that Space Pools has about 23 to 25% of the hash power, and then from there it just gets kind of separated between the others. And when you start getting down really low, it's a real grab at when you'll hit a block and when you don't. Okay. Down with the whiskey out there, he's doing good. Pulling, let's see here. Tesla saying Pooling also pays out a daily bonus token for mining with them. So, what is that? The Pooling token? Is that another cryptocurrency that you can earn? That's interesting. I know Bitmain's really getting their hands into the crypto universe in so many ways. It's not even funny. Never mind, they're gonna go public and actually IPO the thing. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. Read it backwards. I'm not sure. Let's see. Read it backwards. So I'll have to take a look. I'm not sure what part you want me to read backwards. Pin token. Okay. So Pool-in token will be considered. It's called a pin token that you can earn from Bitmain. Yeah, that's how they want to get it all. But here's the big thing. Yeah, I could probably make a few extra coins using Pool-in. I don't like one pool having almost 50% of the environment. Listen, I bought, I have one ASIC. I bought it just to try it out. Okay. I'm not running a farm here by any stretch of the imagination. I got a couple of machines, a couple of rigs that I tinker with. So, if I make a few extra coins, it's no big deal. I mean, heck, I'm giving away 50 to 100 coins every day right here on this channel. So it's not like I'm trying to squirrel these away and I'm a little, Scrooge McDuck over here, counting my coins and, ooh, what do I get today, And so to me, it's more important that I kind of keep a separation and make sure there's other pools that are compensating the network, so that there's not just one network. Because that's the dangerous thing too, is if you have one network that's pulling more than 51% of the hash power, that's a problem also. It's a problem. All right, and not to say that they would do anything. It would not be in their best interest to do such a thing, but it's a problem. All right, so from my perspective, I'll keep it on NanoPool or Space Pools or Fairhash. You make your own choice. You make your own decisions. For me, that's what I need to do with my ASIC. Okay. All right. So that pin token is an ERC token. All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So if your goal is to, if you have a farm and you have 15 or 20 of these things and you got to maximize your money to pay the electric bill, maybe this is something you need to do. Take a look at Pool-in for yourself there. All right. Right. So that's exactly it. Pool-in saying he's got to get an ROI on his miners. He's looking at this as a business. This is a hobby for me. I'm in pretty deep. I've been doing systems engineering, hardware and software for 30 years. So, tearing apart things and putting them together and changing things out and modifying them, testing them, that's therapeutic and fun for me. Not everybody sees it that way. And if it's your business and you have to derive an income from it, it's a totally different animal. I get it. I understand. I get it. Do what you got to do. Rotes was saying that he'd prefer to use a pool in the U.S. if you could, but even space pools and nanopools, they're out of China. If I'm not mistaken, both of them are. I don't know of a valid pool here in the States. Not to say there isn't one, but I'm drawing a blank to come up with an answer for you on that. So that's pretty valid. All right. Hey, Chris Knight's out there. Good to see you. Glad you made it. We're going to be keeping a short show today. I know we've been doing these hour and a half shows. I think yesterday was an hour and 20 minutes. Most of the time, I try to keep it at an hour. I think that 45-minute mark is really where it needs to be so that it's a reasonable amount of time, unless there's something amazing that's coming out and there's information that's happening. So we talked about Webdollar and all the excitement there. I want to thank each and every one of you for visiting DigitSpin Crypto. Check out our Telegram. Get connected with the other folks that are on there. Like I said, it's just starting up, but we're going to have a lot of cool information. I put a lot of time and energy into it. You'll probably pick up some things that you didn't know, or you'll end up knowing first before anybody else. So that's worth your time, and get a little tidbits there. We obviously have our Twitter page. You can sign up to our Twitter handle by send out information. Obviously, when the shows go live, send out information regarding any little tidbits, news, and data that I come across that may be of interest to people. We shoot that out to you. So that's always important. We appreciate each and every one of those. So what we're going to do is, hopefully you got a chance to put either your Webdollar or your Electroneum email address into yesterday's live video. Let's go over to YouTube here, and I'm going to go into the back end of it. I'm going to show you a little exciting stuff here, and what I'm going to take a quick look at is, let's blow this up. I'm going to go into my comments. I'm just going to make sure that everybody that put in information or put in an account got through. What happens is if you put an address, once in a while the Google algorithm thinks you're spamming the video, and it basically takes your input, puts it off to the side. So I do this before every show, and I make sure that those that want to be in the contest, I make sure they get cleared so that it'll show up in the comments, and you have a fair chance like everybody else. So I cleared everything out, made sure that was good, and we're in good shape there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the YouTube picker, and let's go find that video from yesterday. Ta-da! That's our video from yesterday, Alex, from there. Hey, who's that handsome guy right there with the hat? Yes, all right. Okay, let's grab our share. Let's grab our address. We'll close that up. Tell that guy to quiet down. He's making a ruckus. Making a ruckus. And we'll put it in here. We're going to paste it. Okay, so you guys know the drill. For those that are new, we're going to fetch all the entries in from yesterday's video. We got 16 valid comments. I'm going to pick a winner. If the winner comes up, does not have an ETN or a Webdollar address, we're going to pick again until we find somebody with an ETN or a Webdollar address. So for 98 Webdollars or Electroneum, the winner is, oh, GoPal. GoPal says nice information, but he didn't put in his address. We liked you, GoPal. I remember talking to you the other day, but you didn't win. You didn't put in your address. So let's go for number 2. Let's pick a winner. You guys ready? Boom. Oh my gosh. Could that be right? That's the same information he put in the day before, and I gotta go check that. Now you guys are making me think. Did I pick the right video? Electroneum Webdollar Coinbase binding airdrop. Did I use the wrong video? Because it had the same information as the day before. Hold on a second. Time out. Don't string me up yet. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right stuff here. It was my red shirt. And this was on the 25th. And today is the 27th. So Dino, you ding dong. I picked the wrong video. So what I did is I ran it from the 2 days ago instead of yesterday. I have to run it from yesterday. Let's try this again. What a turd. I thought I hit it right. Let's see here. 19 hours ago. We don't want to do flash. I thought I did it right. It was the Chris Gorman one. Oh, jeez. Like a mental patient. All right. I got my act together here. All right, so this is the 26th. Let's try this again. Let's share. Let's copy. And let's go back to our comment picker. Let's put it in there. Let's refetch. All right, so we have eight comments. I'm going to try it again. You guys ready? Sorry about this. Yeah, what is new? Yeah, what am I gonna say? Yeah, don't invite me to your carnival. To throw the darts at the balloons. Though I used to be really good at shooting the stars out of with the gun, and you shoot the star out of the piece of paper. I would win a lot. And they used to have this one where you had these discs, and there was a red circle, and you had to cover the red circle. I actually built a replica of it, and I practiced it until I had it down perfect, and I was like one of the only people that could get it done. All right, pick a winner. Let's go. Def-Qon. Def-Qon is the winner from yesterday's video. And eventually I get it. So congratulations to Def-Qon. I got my act together and I know what I'm doing. My apologies. We got 98. My trusty red pen. I'm going to write that down to Def-Qon. Congratulations to you. Big win. You couldn't have got much bigger. And he has an Electroneum address, so we're going to give Electroneum to Def-Qon. Remember, put in today, come back in about an hour when this goes into the archive, put your Electroneum or your Webdollar address, and on Monday we'll pick a new winner for Friday, today's video. All right. Thank you, everybody. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Congratulations to Def-Qon. Yeah, everybody's out there. Yeah, I know. I won actually the other day, yesterday. What is it? I actually won myself, so it was kind of crazy, kind of goofy. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. You guys are awesome.